We'll start now. ECG director is now in the meeting, so we could start.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
We're very well, thank you.
Good.
Hello, Jonki.
Yeah, Pierre, are you facilitating the meeting? So I think the floor will be given to the ECG director to deliver the opening remark, and then I will come to present the progress that we made so far.
Thanks,
Jonki. Please, Director, go ahead.
Thank you very much, everybody, and nice to see you. It will be nice to see all the faces. I can only see a few, but I'm very happy to see all of you. Welcome to this quick session. As you might have been told, my name is Tom Mwangi Anyonge, and I'm Acting Director for the Environment, Climate, Gender and Social Inclusion Cluster, Division in IFAD. I'm honored to be with you, particularly in this meeting, particularly that, we post the COVID of last year, this particular consultative meeting did not take place. And I'm glad that you've had the chance to hold this one now. And more so that it is coinciding with the time when you are actually going to get progress of the program so far. It is also good to learn that you've had meetings last week. You held a couple of meetings to discuss the MTR. And it's also noted that you'll use this opportunity in this particular consultative meeting with the partners and the member countries and the project coordinators to get to discuss the findings, but more so also to look at the recommendations of way forward and come up with concrete actions and steps moving forward. So I'm very, happy to be here, and I look forward to listening to all of you, but more so also to understand and appreciate the actions that we are going to put forward to improve the delivery of this particular program. So I will not take much more of your time, and since we only have an hour, and I will let you get on with it. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anyonge. Thanks a lot. I think we're going back to Jonki at this point. Jonki, is that correct?
So, yeah. Okay, let me share my screen.
Please go ahead.
Very quickly. I think it's going to I think there is a problem. No. Can you see my screen?
We can see your desktop, yes.
Okay, so let me go quickly on the file. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to give you a quick overview on the program. the progress that we made so far and the next step. My presentation will revolve around 4 points. The first one is to recap on the RFS structure, because there are new, members who have joined the consultative committee, and then I will present the progress and the key achievements. We carried out the MTR. I'm going to present the lesson and the recommendation that we have received from the evaluator, and going also, to present the key implication, the MTR, and the next steps. The Resilient Food System Program, as we know, is one of the 3 integrated pilot program funded by GEF. The program that try to, advance a new paradigm of shifting agriculture system in Africa by, emphasizing the importance of the natural capital and the ecosystem service for agriculture productivity. So the program is being implemented in 12 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, with one cross-cutting regional project. So we started the program in 2017, and we expect to, to deliver the program by the end of 2022. The total investment is about $1 billion, with contribution for GEF around 116 million, and co-financing from the GEF implementation agencies and partner, including also the beneficiary. IFAD is the lead agency of the whole program, and the program coordination unit is hosted by ICRAF. So the structure of the projects like this, we have IFAD and the GEF who are leading the whole program and across the 12 countries, and then the regional cross-cutting projects based on the 4 main components support to, to support the country to deliver their child project. So if you look at the overall structure of the program and the hub, you could see that the component 1, which is the institutional strengthening, the institutional framework, FAO and the UNEP are working on that, to support the country. The component 2 is the one who UNDP, AGRA, and FAO are working on, to identify the best practices that will be scaled up for a large ecosystem transformation. The 4th one is monitoring and assessment. Conservation International, UNEP, and Biodiversity International are supporting that component. And the 4th one is tracking or working on the programmatic impact, visibility, and coherence that the ICRAF is supporting. We are in 12 countries. The country project here, we are in 5 countries in Western and Central Africa, and 7 countries in Eastern and Southern Africa. So IFAD is supporting 7 out of the 12 country projects. So the project is organized around 3 main pillars. The first one is to engage the main stakeholder through, the multi-stakeholder platform to enhance the institutional framework. So we try to connect them, to make them to work together and share their experience. So for this especially, we have established some multi-stakeholder platform that influence the policy instrument and regulatory framework. At the date, we have support 19 national platform, 48 district landscape platform, and at local level, we were over 700 local platforms that have been, established under the program. We are also working to support the policy and the policy instruments. 8 policy instruments have been supported, and we are working with 9 countries where we have developed the integrated natural resource management policy and also other policy instruments. Looking at the numbers, so the RFS project engaged with 4.6 million beneficiaries. Is aligned on the GEF core indicator. So we try to split, in between the countries. Niger is the most, important country who engage with about 2 million beneficiaries. Looking at the gender, so we have target over 1.5 million women as a beneficiary. Who we can also we have tried to split across our 12 countries. We are also working to influence the policy at regional and African level by organizing and participating in some events. So in 2019, we were in New Delhi, where we have brought some of our countries to share their experience with others. So we are in various events that we try to highlight in this slide. So the second component pillar for a program is impact assessment, how we identify the best practices, to enhance our work in terms to, improve the land management, integrated resource management at large scale. In terms of numbers, so the RFS have restored more than 150 hectares of previous degraded lands. We try to, to split between the different countries. For those who want to learn more about how many hectares that we have, restored in each country. In terms of we have targets, around 148 hectares that we have achieved. We have a target of territorial protected area, but now we achieve around 38%, which correspond to 56, more than 56 hectares that we have restored in terms of protected area. So in terms of landscape under sustainable management in the production system, is also related to one of the GEF core indicator. So we are about 74% of our targets reached at the midterm. If we look at the landscape under sustainable management in the production system, so we target 223 hectares. Now we achieve more than 223, which is a very good performance at midterm review for a whole program. We are working on 16 sustainable value chain in the development, by RFS projects. In Senegal, we are working on the rice, millet, milk, and coffee value chain in Senegal. In Ethiopia, we are working on the sheep, fish, wheat, maize, poultry, beef, onion, and granite in Ethiopia. In Burkina Faso, we are working to support the country on the rice, bean, and shea butter. Nigeria focus on the rice and the granite. Burundi is also working on some of value chain, including the beekeeping, etc. So in terms of a number, we have trained more than 50,000 farmers declared that their crop yield increased for 10% using the green value chain. In Niger, especially, very great impact supporting the value chain, because we have tried to reduce 47% in chronic malnutrition in the country. So looking at the farmer field school that the FAO is supporting, at the beginning we have target 35 farmers, and now we are about 1,000. So we are working to make some progress on that aspect as well. Looking at the farmer has been trained in the sustainable land management practices. So we are about 160,000 farmers who have been trained by the project for sustainable land management practices. We are also working to engage the private sector and making business case for investing in natural-based solutions. We provide with support from AGRA and UNDP. We have trained our 12 countries on how to green the value chain, and we provide also 3 catalytic grants to some of the businesses in the country. And also we have developed a training toolkit on greening value chain, which is available now online in English and French. So some good practice emerged in some countries. In Kenya, for example, Kenya has established a successful public-private partnership that leverage more than $1 million for the Nairobi Water Fund. Nigeria and the Eswatini also is working to enhance local value chain through the private partnership. Ethiopia is also working to flow, toward investment toward the integrated natural resource management. And Niger also brought the banking sector on board to finance agricultural development value chain. In terms of track, monitor, learn, and response, we have harmonized our M&E across the program. It was a very challenging process that we have gone through, but we are there. That help us now to report, a very quantitative aspect of the program. So we update our M&E plan, develop our operational M&E system through the smart M&E, which is available online. That help us also to transit to the GEF core indicator. The capacity of the country also has been strengthened to use the M&E and also to provide the information to the smart M&E system. So the transition to GEF core indicator is one of the key elements in the M&E. As you know, all GEF funding project started before 2014 had to transition to GEF core indicator, and this has been done under the IFAD food security program. So we have deployed a range of tools to support the countries. We have a very strong partnership with European Space Agency, who has helped us, to assess and monitor some of elements across our country. The exact tool also, our country team has been trained on that. there are those, tools deployed to the country to support them. Outcome mapping, for example, in 4 countries, Vital Sign and the Resilient Atlas also is deployed by Conservation International to support some of our countries. In terms of knowledge, we have developed, 36 new knowledge products. So our target for a program is around 475, knowledge product, but now we are about 421 communication product, which is also a very good performance of the program. In terms of numbers in the financing, the total amount provided to the country is around 95.5 million GEF grants. Now the delivery is around 43.9 million for the country projects in terms of grants. If we look at the co-financing was our main challenges. We committed to mobilize more than 500 million co-financing, but midterm review, we are far to reach the targets. We are now around 142 million as a co-financing. So co-financing is mobilization is a big challenge for the program. Looking at IFAD-led projects, so we could see all the projects performing very well in terms of delivery, apart from Malawi and Tanzania. Tanzania has, the project has been suspended for few months due to the issue between the Minister of Finance and Minister of Environment. That's why the delivery was very low. Malawi as well has faced, the feasibility study that will, the feasibility study for the investment project need to be done before the GEF component be delivered. That also decrease a little bit, the performance of Malawi child project. Looking at the regional project, we are now, all of our partners are performing very well. UNEP is about 73% of his delivery, if ICAF as well. Only Conservation International is around 50%. So overall performance of IFAD-led projects are very good, apart from some project who has problem. COVID-19 has been, a great challenge for us. At the beginning, we have carried out a survey across our country to identify the key challenges that the country is facing, and we try to provide how we can provide some support to them. So the tools, a lot of resources has been developed, available on our website, to support the country addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. In terms of MTR, the midterm review, the overall midterm review was focused on the hub project. So the overall performance is satisfactory. We have two aspects, which is moderately satisfactory. The component 1 on institutional framework and a policy led by FAO and UNEP, was rated moderately satisfactory. There are some recommendations we received from that, and we are working to improve the delivery of component 1. Another aspect that we are not satisfactory completely is the programmatic value addition, the support that the hub provided to the country was not effective to some extent. So we also received some recommendation to improve the next period of the program. So due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the evaluator suggests that we offer 6-month non-cost extension to the hub. So we're supposed to close operationally December 2022, but now we can move to the end of June 2023, depends on the demand we receive from the hub partner. So looking at the key recommendation for the hub, the knowledge aspect, the evaluation found out that we develop a lot of resources, knowledge and learning that we need, to work to organize some regional country level flagship events, to mining the RFS experience across the country and performing, influencing policy and institutional in the country. So there is a work that we need to do on organizing an event to give more visibility, to showcase during the second period of the program. For the hub agencies, to boost intervention in the country, as I said, the programmatic added value was rated moderate satisfactory because our partner were not too much present in the country. So we need to be more closer to the country and support them. We are not going to engage with a new country, but the country that we are, we need to, reinforce our presence in the country. For the monitoring and assessment, it was requested Conservation International to, to carry out an assessment, document what we are doing on that specific aspect, because the tool that we are using to track resilience are different in our countries. So we need to document and taking into consideration the country specific context. We also need to migrate our knowledge management platform. The question was the sustainability of the platform that we have developed when the project program phase out. So we start that discussion, and I think Biodiversity International offer the possibility to host, but we need to discuss and see the feasibility of that. In terms of main funding for the country projects, we noted that there is a mixed performance, country projects. As I presented now, some of them are performing well, and some of them have some problem. Several projects, cutting up means and late term, like Tanzania, Uganda, Senegal, for example. Many results are reported, mainly activity and land-based, etc. But the performance also depend on the co-financing baseline. As you could see, most of the IFAD led projects are blended to the investment project, and the performance of the GEF component also depends on the performance for the investment project. Like I said before, in Malawi, the problem is that the investment project wasn't performed very well. It impacts the GEF component. Limited capacity at country level, we noticed that. Impressive aggregating results can mask up. These are the key recommendations. In terms of lesson learned for GEF and ADA, The first lesson we learn is yearly engagement by all agencies in the country during the design is critical because we noticed that you know, the country projects are not in the same level of understanding. The lesson 2, the smart outcome indicator and knowledge platform are called for. So the theory of these are related to the design aspect, which is not really concern, you know, the implementation. The future program should consider also, you know, fewer executing agencies. That's something, you know, we are facing at the hub level. We have 7 grantee, 5 grantee, and 2 sub-grantee that we are managing at the regional level and the country level. We have a lot of agencies working in the program. So the evaluator considered that we should have reduced, you know, the number of agencies that are supporting the program. The 4th lesson is interagency cooperation by the program partner require effective mechanism. Yeah, it doesn't work to some extent. For example, for a component 1, we have faced a little bit issue working together, FAO and UNEP, that lead to the low performance that we receive. But we start working on that already. Lesson 5 is owning the driveness, ownership and driveness by the partner in the success of the whole program. Yeah, and that is also something we need to look at. You know, we need to consider the visibility of the all partner involved in the program. And during our planning meeting, we have tried to identify some joint events that we could organize to, you know, raise the visibility for the program. So in terms of implication for the next year, we had 2 days virtual workshop organized, you know, last week to develop a joint action plan to address the key recommendations that we received and ensure the alignment of the hub annual plan and the budget with more focus on the country needs. This exercise has been done, and we are waiting, you know, a feedback from our partner regional level to submit the new version that we are going to consolidate and share. Yeah, there is a recommendation for non-cost extension, we are going to revise our, you know, our grant agreement, but it will be based on the demand. If one partner finds that it's not necessary, you know, to extend the project, so we are not going to review the agreement that we have with them. But if we receive the demand, so we are going in 2020, you know, to review the grant agreement to give more 6 months to, you know, complete the program. We decided to have a joint portfolio review by component. As we find out that the component 1, you know, does not rate very well. So we are going, you know, to introduce a portfolio review by components, and we try to document our best practices, and especially on the resilient building and monitoring and assessment. We also need to increase visibility of the program to the regional events and also reflect on the sustainability of our platform. Yeah, these are the key achievements that I want to share. We are available to, you know, to receive a question where there is a need of clarification. And let me stop here. Over.
Thank you very much, Jonky. I don't know if Rodrigo wants to come in, or if we have any question from our participants here in the call, or comment.
Yeah, now, so basically open the floor for any questions on this presentation and an overall discussion, reactions from countries, partners, anyone.
Yes, Stefano.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jonky, for the very clear presentation. And and I would like just to do a comment regarding the pharmacy school and FAO responsibility. As actually, FAO is responsible of the pharmacy school implementation only in 2 countries, which are Uganda and Burundi, but not in the other countries. Nevertheless, FAO also supported other countries also regarding knowledge products on participatory advisory, also to other countries such as Zimbabwe, also Uganda and other. Okay, but regarding the FFS implementation, we are only responsible of Burundi and Uganda, and more or less the number of pharmacy schools to be implemented are 1,000, more or less. Okay, for the rest, I have no other comment. Thank you. Over to you.
Thanks, Stefano. I see also hands up from Alfred, Uganda. Alfred, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rodrigo. Yeah, thank you, Jonky, for the good presentation. They are really clear. From Uganda, we just have one point that is on the issue of no cost extension. The MTR, the midterm review for the project in Uganda had recommended 18 months, no cost extension. But during our planning meeting for 2022, we reviewed it and we said possibly we could reduce it to 10 months. But now if the regional hub midterm review recommended 6 months, so what do we do for the case of Uganda that we thought maybe the no cost extension could go up to December 2023? I submit.
Thanks, Alfred. Should we pick up a few more comments or questions before maybe going back to IFAD? Jean-Marc?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all to be here, and thank you, Jonky, for the presentation. I don't want to enter into the detail of the comments, but I guess I have one main recommendation for everyone attending this meeting is to keep in mind and to keep a kind of no regret attitude. No regret. I guess we are all, we have been involved over the last 5 years or more for all those who were involved in the preparation of this RFS program, this IEP on food security. And I guess it's very important to not have any regret. So we still have 1 year to correct or to adjust a certain number of activities. And I guess it's important to think, okay, we had a work plan on a certain number of years. We have a certain number of outputs and activities. What would I have done differently, and what can I do right now? And there are probably things beyond, the accurate recommendation to improve some partnerships or publish some papers or transfer some website and so on. It's important to keep in mind this no regret attitude. And then I guess both for the hub or for the child project, I will be very pleased to discuss with some of you about some ideas, and maybe there will be a time at one point to comment some of the accurate recommendation proposed in the midterm evaluation. So I guess it's important for all of you. It's my main recommendation. Keep in mind this no regret policy. It will be very good that at the end of the program, when there will be a terminal evaluation, there is no regret. So, oh, I should have done that or X or Y. We still have some time to do things, to correct things. So let's do it, to not have any regret and to be proud of this program. And I guess we are really on the right track. So thank you for the good work. Thank you.
Thanks, Jean-Marc. Should we move to Margaret? UNEP?
Thank you very much, Jonky, and thanks, colleagues. And I really want to appreciate Jean-Marc and saying no regrets. Really, it's not been the easiest time. I just want to also thank Jonky for the presentation and to note that at this stage where we have reached, especially for component 1, where we needed to escalate this to the regional entities, the structured regional policy bodies like the African Union Commission. It's getting there. We actually had arranged for the meeting in November, and it was supposed to be based in Addis Ababa, and I'm sure you all know what is happening here in Ethiopia. So we had to cancel this thing at the last minute, but rest assured, we are trying to ensure that some of this best practice actually reaches the African Union structures. And as many of you may know, and I also want to hear from the rest of you, we want to make sure that it goes to the extent that we can reach up to the summit level through the special technical committees and all the other areas and structures within the African Union Commission that can actually take up some of these best practice policies. Thank you.
Thanks, Margaret. Very informative. Lynn, I see your hands up.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the presentation. I just want to make a few comments, 1 or 2. One on the recommendations, on the design. That one of the recommendations, really, I think, or one of the things that we have seen has sort of made the child projects, in particular, Eswatini, not to disperse as much as it should have at this time, has to do with in-country technical capacity. So I think my thinking would be that, at the design of the projects, looking at the needs of the country, but as well, we look at what the country can, be able to implement using local resources, using technical resources from the country, because otherwise it then, takes a long time to get professional technical expertise from outside of the country and all of that. I think it's one area to note, really, and then I think the one point was made on the ownership and drivenness, of the country projects. I think as well, we should, moving forward, also work on ownership and drivenness of the beneficiaries themselves, for increased or for the sustainability of the projects, really, because if that drive, that drivenness is not there, you know, the likelihood is that the interventions will not last, you know, very long. So the knowledge products that you produce should also be coming, you know, from the beneficiaries themselves, you know. So I think it's really critical for them to own, you know, whatever it is that, you know, the project had been doing, as well as the cross-country learnings. I think that is also very key, you know, because a lot of our projects really, much as, you know, they were, you know, with different titles, but the issues that were being dealt with, that we are dealing with, are very similar. So the cross-country learning is also very important. I know that there were some knowledge portals, but not used as much as they should have been used, you know, for that learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lynn. Those are very valid points. I see Leopold. The floor is yours. Go ahead. Leopold Nanema, at least from my side, I cannot hear you.
Pour cette présentation qui était assez claire.
Okay.
Alors, de bons résultats ont été obtenus malgré le contexte qui a été perturbé surtout par le COVID. Alors, je voudrais davantage comprendre l'extension dont il a été question. Je voudrais donc savoir si cette extension concernera toujours les mêmes pays avec les mêmes actions, ou bien si il peut y avoir donc d'autres actions complémentaires avec d'autres pays en plus.
Thank you, Leopold. I could only understand, I think, part of your intervention about the no-cost extension. So at this point, I think it's also good to circle back since it's a, if I understood correctly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's a similar question to Uganda for now for it. So just to clarify, that recommendation of the 6-month no-cost extension was specifically for the hub, the regional hub project, for the regional hub partners. Now, of course, part of the reason was also because it was expected that some of the country projects would also end up going beyond that original duration. And the idea was to ensure that the partners could, the technical partners, the regional partners could also extend the technical support to the countries a bit more into 2023. So when we said 6 months, it's for the regional hub. That does not and IFAD and FAO, other implementing agencies, feel free to step in. But my understanding is that these does not interfere with whatever recommendation came from the MTRs of conducted by the country projects themselves. So if Uganda's MTR recommended 10 months, or internally, if you think the 10 months extension is the most reasonable, then go for it. These 6 months should not affect directly your own country project extension.
Hey, Rodrigo, can I come in?
Yes, please.
Oui, Léopold, je pense que la question, elle est pertinente. Pertinente en ce sens que nous sommes, les projets pays n'ont pas démarré au même moment. Donc, il y a certains projets qui ont démarré bien avant d'autres. Ce qui fait qu'actuellement, il y a certains projets qui ont déjà clôturé. Normalement, le projet du Ghana, le projet du Kenya, par exemple, ont déjà clôturé leur activité. Et donc, du coup, l'extension dont nous parlons, comme Rodrigo l'a dit, est une extension essentiellement liée au projet régional. Comme tu le sais, le projet régional est censé renforcer les capacités des pays. Donc, si nous prenons par exemple le projet de Malawi, leur évaluation à mi-parcours recommande une année d'extension. Donc, ce qui veut dire que s'ils ne pourront pas, après 6 mois ou après la clôture du projet régional, continuer toujours par bénéficier des appuis. Donc, on estime que les appuis nécessaires pour délivrer les projets pourront être déroulés avant la fin du mois de juin 2023. Donc, c'est pour cela qu'on a donné 6 mois d'extension pour le projet régional. Et cela n'a rien à voir avec les projets pays. Il y a plusieurs projets qui clôturent déjà. Je pense que si on prend le projet du Burkina, le projet du Niger, il y a tous ces projets-là qui sont presque arrivés à la fin. Mais l'appui régional, c'est ça. Nous avons reçu une recommandation de l'étendre sur une durée de 6 mois. Et c'est pareil aussi pour la question, c'est the same question from Alfred. I will continue, maybe Margaret. Yeah, Margaret, yeah, we have a lot of discussion about, the work we are doing at AGIS, to interacting with African Union. I think it's a very good thing that will continue. We need really to engage with them, the influence the decision around the RFS program. I think the questions or the comment for Lynn is very, very, very critical one. It concerns the design to really, consider the national capacity designing the project. I fully agree with you. That's why I think the recommendation is saying we need really to engage all the country projects, and we need to interact with them to see how we can better, support them. So this comment, well, but could be harnessed in the next, similar initiative in GEF 8. Yeah, each question as well. Yeah, Jean-Marc, the question or the comment from Jean-Marc, we start working on that. The meeting that we had last week, we have, tried to emphasize on working in the way that we address the key recommendation that we receive from the MTR. So we will not going to do the business as we used to do, but we just need, to restructure our work plan in the way to consider the key recommendation that we receive. That is a very important element we need to look at. And I think the portfolio review that we introduce will help us if there is any, problem in taking into consideration. We could, try to look at that. Why this portfolio review is very important, and we are going to do it by component. I will share with you the work plan for that. In 2022, I think we will try to review the 4 components. We are going to do it together. It's not only for the component leads, but we are going to do it together and our partner. Even if it is necessary, we will also involve the country chief. Yeah. So for the farmer field school, I think, you are supporting Uganda and Burundi, but if you look at some of our projects, they are also for Niger, for example, I discussed with them, they also apply, something similar as the GEF project is blended to the investment project, so they are also working on those aspects. But we take note of that. So I think I'll stop here. Rodrigo, over to you.
I'm just looking to see if there are any more hands up.
Hi, Rodrigo.
Yes.
This is Hassan. Sorry, I don't know how to raise my hand on Zoom yet. Too many platforms I use these days.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Jonki, thank you for that presentation. I think giving us the progress made in that format really kind of gives us a perspective of how far we've gone. From AGRA's perspective, all I can say is that, it feels like right now, like we're just around the midpoint, looking at how far we've gone, establishing relations, getting to know the hub partners and establishing working relations with them. And it's a bit of a pity that, we have about a year to finish the project. But as Jean-Marc said, it's a no regret principle. But just wanted to highlight that, we're getting to a stage where we are beginning to feel we're gaining traction on the ground, and we're already getting to the end of the project soon. The point that was raised last week, that we probably underestimated our, setting up capacities, as well as establishing relations, getting to know each other, maybe it could have affected the way we started. But just to say thanks, Jonki, for putting our progress in such a very visual presentation as you have done. So thanks a lot.
Thanks, Hassan. Anyone else? Any comment, question? I don't see any other hand up. So should we then proceed to some closing remarks from GEF Secretariat, from Remark, if okay with you?
Yes, thank you. It's not really closing remark. I guess it's a follow-up of what I wanted to say before. It's so fascinating and so interesting, and I guess we have done so much in the condition we know about the COVID that really we can be proud of all the work done by everyone in the countries and at the hub. Of course, we are very sensitive. There are always things we can do better, or we would like to do better, and that's why I insist on this no regret policy and state of mind. I guess, well, it was kind of clear from the evaluation that the RFS is a successful program, so there is no regret for that, but we want always to do better. And of course, I'm very sensitive to the comments made and the recommendation made on the component 4 and the added value of the programmatic approach, especially because we are on a constant, learning mode to improve the rules and the framework and the policies. And we already took lesson from the GEF 6 IEP for GEF 7, and now we are also looking at GEF 8. So I guess all the the better way to add value of the programmatic approach are important to me, and I will have a particular look at how we are going to address this recommendation over the next months. So I guess there were very interesting recommendations about the direct interaction between the hub and the child project. There are questions about the sustainability and the transfer of all the knowledge platform, the website, and I guess there are really interesting questions, and also question of partnerships with the long-term or with permanent partners. And all the aspects, it's one point to produce knowledge and to produce training, and there is always, I know it's an endless question about how the training and how the products are used and are scaling up and how they are disseminated. But I guess it's very important for all of us to monitor this aspect and to think how to improve this aspect, because I guess the structure of the IEP on the institutional framework, the scaling up aspect, monitoring and assessment, and the program itself are really key, and we will see that in future programs and projects. So I guess the RFS has been an amazing opportunity for integration actually, and to integrate all the cross-cutting issues we have been working, like gender responsiveness, private sector, resilience, environmental security. And I guess the work is not done. We still have to do on these issues. And again, I would like to thank all of you for the good work. And I'm sure that from satisfactory, I hope we'll move to highly satisfactory, because it's always what we are trying to do. But I guess there are really room for plenty of lessons, and I'm very pleased with all the work done. So thank you very much for the good work, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, and bye-bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Isaac. Bye-bye, who I'm seeing
Bye-bye.
here. Yes. Bye-bye, David.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You. Ciao.